Hi there, it's Thursday again, and it's time for my next upload. It's the Artiviz teacher. I'm really glad you could join me. So I've been really busy this week. Obviously, I've been working from home, like a lot of you, and lots of things, good and bad, have happened in my life, like all of you, I'm sure. So today I'm going to talk about some of the really important facts about selling face-to-face and online, but also I'll be touching on some misconceptions and things that artists and makers stress about. So yeah, stay tuned and see you in a minute. Hi and welcome back. This is the Artiviz teacher, and I'm really excited to be able to do my next upload for you. It's Thursday and I'm on time this week. If I can just remind you, if you like my content, then tell other artists and makers about it, and it's all for free. Please subscribe to my channel, and I think there's a notification button somewhere so that you can get notifications of when I do my next uploads, and I really hope you're finding them useful. So today I'm going to talk about some really important facts that you need to know when you're trying to sell your art and craft. And also I'm going to talk about a few misconceptions as well. So very recently I communicated with all of the artists and makers on my online platform called Art in the Heart. And it was a detailed missive and I was basically saying to them that, you know, even in this really challenging time, in fact, precisely because of this challenging time, we need to focus and, you know, if we want to sell, that because of COVID-19, depending on one's circumstances, we just don't give up and just think, oh, well, you know, I'm at home and I'm busy self-isolating. You're not busy self-isolating unless you're a carer and you've got people to care for. You know, so I know we've all got our different stories, but I thought it'd be a really good time to really hone what I was doing and really try and help my artists and makers. So I sent the information out to them, and the main message was to be a good standard seller on my platform, on my online selling platform, you need to do this. Quite simply. Or you can be a big brand on my site, and there's information about that. Or you can offer personalised commissions, or you can be in a section called Art for Collectors. And these are all new ideas that I've come up with, that I believe in, and it's just again to give opportunities and to work with artists and makers in a way that I have done for many years. So I got a lot of emails back, mostly really positive, saying what they would like to do, but also detailing their worries, their fears, their stresses. So the most famous online selling platform is Amazon. Now, if you sell on Amazon, there are really strict rules that you have to adhere to. And if I can tell you, I've got an Amazon shop and I've sold hundreds and hundreds of items on that platform. The other month, I got one complaint. It wasn't a complaint. I don't think the customers actually realised it had registered as a complaint. But actually, Amazon straight away, they took that product off my shop. And I mean, it's a really good selling product, and they just took it off. They didn't ask me, nothing. It just went. And also they sent me an email telling me that they were going to delete my account if I didn't shape up. Now, the reason they do that, I mean, it's intensely annoying because I do so many things right. But the fact of the matter is, the reason why Amazon is so successful, apart from, some would argue exploiting its workers, but another reason why Amazon is so successful is because they have to have complete cooperation from their sellers to get those standards that you all expect when you order from Amazon. That communication, quick delivery, just that real convenience. And they don't get that by doing nothing. So here am I, just a little person compared to that. And so I send my artist saying, look, we've got to shape up really, because we have good customers, we make sales, but some of you will never make sales if you continue in this way. And also, it's not fair on the other artists whose stores are brilliant. So I had this wonderful email, and I've got permission to refer to this email from one of my artists. And I find it fascinating, and she was really worried in the middle of it that she'd offended me and criticised me. And I got back to her straight away. I said, this email is a gem. This email is fantastic, because I learn from my artists in the same way as I hope they learn from me. And it gave me some reminders, and it was just really interesting. And I said to her, thank you so much for sending this email. So I'm just going to pick up on a few things here. So bearing in mind, this lady, oh God, I'm sorry, I'm not very comfortable like that. Sorry, let me adjust that. Oh, my knees aren't so good. Right, okay, so bearing in mind that this lady has received this email from me saying, can you do this and do that and do the other, and if you do this and do that, so she's received this huge thing making demands, and she's obviously felt a bit overwhelmed by it. And you may feel this same overwhelm, particularly with online selling and keeping up with everything. So she said she'd been wondering for a while what to do with a shop on Art in the Heart. And I have to say, she's not made any sales, and I don't mind sharing that with you. But this was really important. She said to me, you featured one of my artworks, which has made me reconsider. And I feature lots of my artist work on social media mostly, and I do posts about them. And I suddenly realised again, because I do know it, but I sometimes forget, that this was so motivational for her, just to see her work and me talking about it. I think it was on one of the newsletters that I sent out, and I had it as a top pick for Mother's Day, and it was a lovely piece of work. And it was that she said, no, you featured my work and I'm going to stay with you. And I thought, well, I've actually featured her work quite a lot, perhaps she's missed it, but anyway. And she says, thank you very much for this. Well, that's my pleasure. Then she says, I am not very IT savvy. There's so many responses to that, artists and makers. Listen, if you're not very IT savvy, you're not going to be very good selling online. Right, so you've got two choices. Right, so I give lots of what I call idiot's guide, and I don't mean that to be insulting. You know what I mean by that, step by step with diagrams, so you can exactly see, it goes from, log in, it goes right from the beginning. So I do that. And also, just to say that I do loads on the computer, I'm IT savvy, but there was a time when I wasn't. And when I learnt how to use eBay in 2001, I was there for hours and hours and hours trying to work out what the hell to do. And I wept on my computer. I understand, well, I can vaguely remember what it feels like not to be IT savvy. I definitely know what it feels like to be not savvy about lots of other things. So when I ring up for guidance on something, I have to take deep breaths because I don't understand what they're talking about on the end of a phone. When my Virgin Media goes down and I'm thinking, oh my God, one of those phone calls, and I never understand what they're telling me, So I understand when you say you're not IT savvy. So you can use my guides, you can listen to my YouTube uploads, but most important, you've either got to face the fact that you're either IT savvy or you're not, and you've got a choice whether you do anything about it or not. So I've had to sit down and learn everything. You think, oh, well, yeah, that's your job. But actually, I do loads of other things apart from this. And so you say to me, well, I'm busy doing my art and craft and I don't want to sit at a computer. Well, don't then, and don't do it. You've got a choice. So you just got to keep doing it and keep learning, and you'll get better and better, or get somebody else to do it for you, a willing family member or a willing friend. And do something in return, I get my son to do my graphic design, and in return I just give him my love and devotion. But I do understand, but you can improve and have confidence in yourself. This particular woman, she's got down to it, she's uploading stuff and following my guide, and I bet you she would say she's come a long way already. Anyway, another thing she said to me was, I shy away from anything technical. Well, you're not, are you? Because you're getting on with it. And, so you're doing well. Poor thing, really. And she says, I only have a vague notion of what you mean by creating your own traffic. When you're online selling, traffic is not to do with cars and motorbikes and cycles. And I do sympathise. And then she says, I am a member of your Facebook group. My Facebook page does not receive any posts from the group. Well, it wouldn't. However, it's great that you're a member of the Facebook group, Artists, and sorry, I've got to move my leg again because it's getting pins and needles. So, my group, Artists and Makers UK, all right, on Facebook, join it. So how that works is you can post up your work. So if you've got a product on my platform, then you just take the URL at the top, stick it on the post, and it'll go and it'll come up. And you'll say, oh, here's my so that I'm selling on Art in the Heart. Yeah? So that's how you do it. Or you can, you're not allowed, on my group, you're not allowed to post up other shops. I mean, that would be ridiculous, you know, I'm not stupid. But, you know, you can just post up pictures of, you know, you doing your work. You can post anything up, really. And there's also people that just want to look at the stuff. Okay, so that's how that works. So you can invite people to like your Facebook page. Okay, so that's fine. But you can't get people to post on your Facebook group. No, on your Facebook page, sorry. So you do your post and then people can comment. So on the Art in the Heart page, we do posts about the artists and makers' work, and then you can comment. So there's a bit of a misconception about how you use social media as well. Okay, then she says, I question whether 2D work is appropriate for my selling platform. So there's this thing about what sells online. Is it 2D work, like paintings, for example, or is it objects like, you know, pottery and jewellery and things like that? I can see where you're coming from there, but we have sold quite a lot of 2D work. I think it really is about other things that you do to sell. So it's about your artist narrative. It's about how you communicate now on social media about your work. And also what I'll say is I don't think they realise this, but my artists and makers, they shape the platform. So I sometimes have a plethora of 2D artists sign up and I look at their work and it's great work and I think, well, I've got enough now to do something about 2D work. And then it's the good 2D work, actually there's a bit of 3D as well, a sculptor, that is art for collectors. Okay, so you shape what I do as much as I shape what you do. So if I get a load of potters register, and I've had so many register and none of them get on with it apart from one, and they never finish their shop and they just disappear. And I'd love potters to come on my site, I really would. I'd love potters to be on my site. But and then being obviously 3D. But yeah, you know, if I got a load of potters, then I'd do a lot of marketing about pottery, and then I'd share it with all of the pottery platforms and people, the platforms where people love pottery. So you shape it as much as I do. So I can see what you're saying about 2D and 3 work, but I hope that answers that question. Then another thing that she said that was really interesting is, on the point about exuberant and outgoing artists sell more, I can't remember saying that. Anyway, it is well known that this type of personality make good salespeople, and you cannot change your personality. I am very much an introvert and find it hard to sell and sing my own praises. Now, this is a really important point. Okay, extrovert artists who can talk the talk. We all get that. We all understand that. I wouldn't say they don't necessarily always make better salespeople, but they find it easier to talk about themselves and other things. You're quite right. What I will say to you is you do not have to change your personality. That is definitely what you don't have to do. And if you're an introvert, okay, so when you're communicating about yourself, it's not about whether you're an extrovert or an introvert. It's about the way you communicate your artist's narrative and your story to your audience, and how that reflects your work and whether people like your work. So if people are starting to link to your work, when they read your narrative or when they hear you talk about your work passionately, then they link into it even more and they're more likely to buy it. So you never really have to sing your own praises. It's not really about that. It's just about you knowing your work, knowing your journey, knowing about your inspiration and what motivates you, what your work is all about. So what is the current series all about? What made you do that series? And talking to your customers, presenting it to your customers. And you don't have to be an extrovert to do that. In fact, in all walks of life, we have extroverts and introverts. I am a complete and utter extrovert, but there are misconceptions about that. So people think that extroverts aren't shy. But inside me, there is an introvert, a big introvert, that blocks people off. Inside is a huge shyness. So, always remember that about an extrovert. I know you're saying, oh yeah, right, whatever. Doesn't matter what I say, really, does it? Right, okay. So, I hope that's clarified this thing about singing your own praises. I've had that a lot. It's not about that. So, next thing, she says, I hope this doesn't come across as hugely critical. Absolutely not, because you've pinpointed in your email a lot of things that will help other artists, and here I am now doing my upload, and actually it's not critical at all. It's really helpful. And you took a great deal of time to compose this email, and I'm using it, and thank you very much for allowing me to use it. It's very useful. And then she says, in times of no art exhibitions and closed galleries, a virtual presence is even more necessary. And that is exactly what I'm doing, folks. And this is why, no, it's not why, I'm lying, because I was going to do this anyway, can't even speak. I was going to do this anyway with my artist makers and tell them you've got to reach the standard now. But now it's even more poignant, I think is what I'm saying, because there's nothing open, and, the online, I'm going online with my one-to-one mentoring, because I like to do it face-to-face, but I'm going online doing that. So yeah, online, but online is always there, and it's an option among a lot of things in normal practice. But we're not normal at the moment. Well, I'm not. Well, I'm never normal. As people will tell you. Right, okay. And then the big paragraph at the end. So in answer to your question, I would like to remain as an art in the heart seller, and I intend to reorganise my shop. At the moment, I'm concentrating on collage work, and so we'll remove some paintings in other categories, so to give consistent image. Well done, that woman. Consistency. A brand running through your work, so we can all make sense of it. Hurrah! Well done. It may mean that I dip below the number of 10 items for a while. Naughty, naughty, naughty. Because that's my rule. You've got to have at least 10 things in your shop. But with the enforced social isolation, there will be more studio time. Well, thank you very much for that email. And you don't know that particular artist, but I'm going to do a big post about your work very soon because it's very beautiful work. And, you know, as I say, I just wish I could wave a magic wand all the time. So that's it for this week, and thank you so much for listening to my upload. And I can't wait for next week because I've had loads and loads of emails. I've got 90 artists and makers, and all these emails keep coming in, and most of them are positive, and there's a few that aren't, but it doesn't really matter. And I might do another one next week because there's a corker of a sentence that somebody sent me. Absolute corker. And I'd love to share it with you. It's about brand. And I just get this misconception all the time. But anyway, thank you for listening. And, of course, subscribe to my channel and tell your creative friends about this channel and get them to watch on a Thursday, or get them to catch up with what's going on. And of course, if you're an artist and maker who wants to come onto my online platform, it's artintheheart.co.uk. You just sign up, you register, and then I get back to you to tell you what the next stage is. Okay, thank you so much for listening. Bye.